I'm Michael, aka Oscar Man, and here are 10 Oscar nominated performances I'm not just passionate about, but I'm mad at this guy for not going home with him.
I'm broke. I'm not sleeping, at all. And this play kind of starting to feel like a miniature, deformed version of myself that just keeps following me around and hitting me in the balls with a tiny little hammer.
Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, the latter of which you may ascribe to me for some of my choices, may have won Best Picture of 2014, but its star Michael Keaton didn't, unfortunately.
I just missed the moment. I don't have it. I should have just been there with the two of you. Just the three of us. But I wasn't. I wasn't even present in my own life, and now I don't have it. And I'm never gonna have it.
I was skeptical about this film before watching it because I found Michael Keaton to be kind of hammy in his previous work in film and on television. But his manic energy was perfect for Regan Thompson, a faded actor famous for his portrayal of superhero Birdman.
You said in the interview your father was a drunk like Carver. Is that true, Mac? Is that true?
No.
Because my father was. My father was a mean fucking drunk. You understand?
Okay.
He beat the shit out of us. That was okay, though, because at least when he was beating us, he wasn't thinking about taking us out to his tool shed. Because when we got out the tool shed, that son of a bitch would smile. I could say, you want to get down on your knees and unbuckle my belt? Or do you want me to?
I admire Keaton's work, and the whole cast for that matter, because of the way Birdman was filmed. Did you know that there were only 16 visible cuts in the film? The long takes meant that the actors did not have the luxury of flubbing lines, having to be in nearly perfect mode as if they were performing live.
Sir, where are you going? Sir, where are you, sir?
What are you doing?
I'm waiting for Jake. This is my attorney, Mr. Roth.
We're pursuing financial remunerations for the injuries, Mr.
I'm gonna
I got a
run.
play to do.
Excuse me?
Sir,
I don't think you know what the...
It's a very strong union, sir.
I think the trade paper Variety said it best when describing Michael Keaton's performance as, quote, the comeback of the century, unquote. Though he had garnered success in films like Beetlejuice and Batman, Birdman gave Keaton the opportunity to go deep. I still think this is his best performance, and I wish he had won the Oscar. I voted for him at SAG, even though I was aware that his main competition was the performance which ultimately would prevail with the Academy. I know Eddie Redmayne's role as Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything is the type of performance the Academy typically goes for, but I still held out hope that Michael Keaton would pull an upset win. Who would have gotten your vote?
Yes.
Of 76 Quilter Street.
Yes, what is it you want, darling? Hello? Did you want Roxanne? She's gone out.
No.
She ain't in any trouble, is she?
I only became aware of Brenda Blethyn when there was strong buzz generated for her performance in 1996's Secrets and Lies. After I saw the film, I remember thinking, now I understand why her name is being bandied about as an Oscar contender. Her performance has this guy written all over it.
Who is this?
She was born on the 23rd of July 1968. Look, I'm sorry, I know this must be a shock to you.
Sure, her character Cynthia Purley is mega annoying. Her whiny, pathetic, crying jags would get on anyone's nerves. The woman was not an easy person to like, let alone have compassion for. But Cynthia's plight was made easier to accept because of Brenda Blethyn's deeply felt performance.
What are you talking about in your birth certificate? It can't be.
It's got your name and your address on it. There.
No, that's all wrong, darling. They've made a mistake down the offices.
As a mother who learns that the daughter she gave away at birth isn't exactly who she thought she was, Blethyn pretty much had the Oscar wrapped up in the scene where both women learn about one another.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh, Jesus Christ almighty.
That scene was shot in one continuous take, lasting over 7 minutes. Director Mike Leigh's style of filmmaking consisted of having his cast spend months creating improvisational scenes, so that by the time of the film shoot, everyone had a strong sense of who they were playing. Now, as an actor, I prefer improvisation, as it allows me to be more in the moment. But not every director allows that type of freedom. In the case of Secrets and Lies, it worked beautifully, and the technique lends itself to the film's realistic feel. Come Oscar time, my fingers were crossed for Brenda Blethyn to walk up to the stage and collect her award. But instead...
Hey, there's a high-speed pursuit, ends here, and then this execution type deal.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if our suspect was from Brainerd.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, from his footprint, he looks like a big fella.
I know many of you really love Frances McDormand's performance in Fargo. She was just fine, but oh, you betcha yeah, I wanted Blethyn to win. Stay tuned because McDormand will be mentioned again later in the video.
Well, isn't life full of surprises? And all along I thought it was because of what I'd done to my big brother.
I took that hard, but I buried it.
Well, all right, I'll bite. What turned you sour on me? Not that I give a damn.
Paul Newman's career included several great performances, including his Oscar-nominated work in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Cool Hand Luke, and The Verdict. But for me, his standout was 1963's HUD.
You ain't letting that little ruckus we had run you off, are you?
As far as I can get on a bus ticket.
Claiming I'm the first guy that ever stuck his foot in your door?
Oh, no.
First one ever got rough, huh? Well, I'm sorry. That ain't my style. I don't usually get rough with my women. Generally don't have to.
What I admire about Paul Newman was that he was able to get Hollywood to take him seriously. By that I mean that in the early years, if you were handsome or beautiful, that was enough to make you a star. You didn't necessarily have to know how to act. But Newman proved that you could be great looking and talented, and HUD showcased both to perfection.
You don't know the whole story. Yeah, him and me fought many and many a round together. But I guess you could say that I helped him about as much as he ever helped me.
A true method actor, Paul Newman purposely created a, let's say, unpleasant environment on and off set during the making of HUD in order to establish necessary tension between himself and his co-stars Patricia Neal and Melvyn Douglas, whose characters clashed with Newman's.
Why, this whole country is run on epidemics. Where you been? Epidemics, a big business prize fixing, crooked TV shows, income tax finagling, souped-up expense accounts. How many honest men you know? You take the sinners away from the saints, you're lucky to end up with Abraham Lincoln. Oh, I say, let's us put our bread in some of that gravy while it is still hot.
HUD was an anti-hero, living his life without apology. Moviegoers weren't used to seeing Paul Newman portray a character like this. They wanted movie stars to be pretty and likable. Perhaps this worked against the actor, who lost the Oscar to this performance.
Oh, it's God's will.
Boy, look, I'm checking out. All right, I'll clean out some of that stuff there for you. You see, I don't want those girls to break their backs picking up those heavy beams. Just a little bit, mind you. I mean, just to work off that tremendous breakfast you fed me this morning. Now, come on, let's settle.
I didn't watch Lilies of the Field until a few years ago and wasn't all that impressed with the story. I like Sidney Poitier, but thought he gave a more Oscar-worthy performance in 1958's The Defiant Ones. Now, what I don't quite understand is why the Academy voted for Patricia Neal and Melvyn Douglas, but Paul Newman missed in this category. What do you think happened that year?
May I ask you a question? What do you think of me?
What do you mean?
You've known me nearly all your life. You must have formed some opinion of me.
Well, I always thought that you were a very nice person.
Did you know I was an alcoholic?
What?
Did you know that?
Anne Bancroft deserved her Best Actress Oscar for her triumphant performance in 1962's The Miracle Worker. And I think she should have been a two-time winner, repeating for her stellar work as Mrs. Robinson in 1967's The Graduate.
Hello?
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes?
It's Benjamin.
Yes?
Benjamin Braddock.
Benjamin, where are you?
Can you look through the glass? Can you see me now?
Yes, I can.
Though Doris Day was first offered the role of the older cougar, she made a huge mistake turning it down. Anne Bancroft's cool, calculated seduction of Benjamin was, for me, spot on.
Well.
Benjamin,
Yes.
I'll get undressed now. Is that all right?
Sure. Shall I just stand here? I don't know what you want me to do.
Why don't you watch?
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Will you bring me a hanger?
What?
A hanger.
Oh, yes.
Only 6 years older than Dustin Hoffman, Anne Bancroft was utterly believable as the bitter, manipulative Mrs. Robinson, who casually uses people and stops at nothing to destroy anyone in her way.
Good. We have a burglar here. Just a second. I'll ask him. Are you armed? No, I don't believe he is. Thank you.
What have you done to her?
I think we have everything quite under control now, Benjamin. Would you like a quick drink before you go?
You can't stop me from seeing her, Mrs. Robinson. I'll find her.
Sorry we won't be able to invite you to the wedding, Benjamin, but the arrangements have been so rushed.
The Graduate was a massive success, winning director Mike Nichols an Oscar for only his second film. His first was Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. And though 1967 was stacked with strong performances in the Best Actress category, Anne Bancroft seemed poised to take home her second Oscar. Alas, that didn't happen, losing to...
Then take the check for $5,000, which I feel you deserve, and get permanently lost. It's not that I don't want to know you, Hillary, although I don't. It's just that I'm afraid we're not really the sort of people that you can afford to be associated with. Don't speak, Hillary. Just go.
This one remains a head-scratcher. Of course, members of the Academy didn't know that Katharine Hepburn would win again the following year for The Lion in Winter. She had some good moments in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. But talk about an upset. Any of the other four nominees would have been a better choice. Hepburn's film is considered dated today, yet Anne Bancroft's performance remains iconic. I mean, come on. People still refer to the woman in A May-December Romance as Mrs. Robinson.
Did the classical artists have any means of expressing their age?
Yes, and they did it very well. All cultures have had means and techniques of expressing their immediate aims.
Though 2000's Pollock is best known among Oscar nerds as the film which pulled an upset win for Marcia Gay Harden, its leading man and director, Ed Harris, gave an outstanding performance that, this time, should have brought him the Oscar. An intense performer who has never given a false performance, Ed Harris could easily have carved out a successful career as a character actor. Though not a typical leading man type, Harris's passion for Jackson Pollock drove him to pursue a project that took him nearly 10 years to produce.
Peterson was better.
You had something going in that picture, but it missed. Had something going in the deep, too, but it just missed.
The deep was a kiss ass to Clifford Still.
No one asked you.
Clifford Still could polish Jackson's shoes.
How dedicated was Ed Harris in his portrayal of Pollock? Well, for one, he did all of the paintings seen in the film, and his complete dedication to the artist took on what seemed like an actor's obsession with the role. Pollock succeeded because of Ed Harris's performance, as well as those generated by his cast. And while I wanted him to become an Oscar winner, I knew that the name called was going to be for this film.
Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Once again, the Academy could not have known that Russell Crowe was going to give a great performance the next year for A Beautiful Mind. Otherwise, they likely would have voted for Ed Harris. Gladiator is not part of my movie wheelhouse, as I prefer smaller, more introspective character studies like the one offered in Pollock. Who would have gotten your vote?
Because every week I go to a club, and every week I act like I'm too drunk to stand. And every fucking week, a nice guy like you comes over to see if I'm okay.
Over the years, I've become skeptical about buying into online hype about a film and or a particular performance, often finding myself not seeing what others are raving about and wondering if I missed something. But I didn't have to think twice about Carrie Mulligan's performance in 2020's Promising Young Woman.
3 hours ago, I picked your daughter Amber up from school and introduced her to the boys who live in that room now. What? She is really pretty, huh? She looks a lot older than she is.
I don't believe you.
I noticed they had a few bottles of vodka in the room, too, but I'm sure they'll take good care of your daughter. She seemed excited, actually.
After giving several excellent performances, including her Oscar-nominated turn in 2009's In Education, Carrie Mulligan finally found the role that was, in my estimation, the one that would make her an Oscar winner.
Are you going to tell everybody?
I don't know.
I don't know if I can live with the threat of this hanging over me. I didn't even do anything.
Okay. Poor Ryan, just an innocent bystander. Yeah. Don't tell any of them that I'm coming, because I'll send the video around just the same if you do.
The story of Promising Young Woman was provocative, to be sure, and Carrie Mulligan's character, Cassie, whose journey of seeking both forgiveness and revenge combined the elements of black comedy and thriller, making for a sometimes uncomfortable watch.
Your name, all around her, all over her, all the time. And it just squeezed her out. So when I heard your name again, your filthy fucking name, I wondered when was the last time anyone had said hers? Or thought it even.
Convincing from start to finish, Carrie Mulligan sailed through a difficult role without asking the audience to necessarily condone her actions. At times I found myself not knowing exactly how to react. Should I cheer Cassie on, or was her behavior teetering on mentally unstable? Mulligan made it perfectly clear what led her character to do what she did, right or wrong, and that's the mark of a great actress. The Academy had the opportunity to bestow the Oscar upon this talented young woman, so you'll have to help me understand their choice instead.
So I stayed. Same town, same house. It's like my dad used to say, what's remembered lives. I maybe spent too much of my life just remembering.
Sorry I'm mentioning you twice in this video, Francis. I will say that I support the Oscar you won for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. But what did you do that was so special in the dreary nomad land? The only thing I can surmise was that the film came out during a period in history where we were at our most disconnected from one another, and your film's themes of loneliness and isolation hit home. Hard. I'm not sure exactly where Carrie Mulligan placed in that year's voting, but her Oscar loss was a particularly disappointing one for me.
Charles Foster Kane is a scoundrel. His paper should be run out of town. A committee should be formed to boycott him. You may, if you can form such a committee, put me down for a contribution of $1,000.
My time's
On the other hand, I am the publisher of the Inquirer. As such, it's my duty, and I'll let you in on a little secret. It's also my pleasure to see to it that decent, hard-working people in this community aren't robbed blind by a pack of money-mad pirates just because they haven't anybody to look after their interests.
It's not easy giving a performance for the ages in your first film, especially one which you also wrote and directed. And, as it turns out, the one where, for many, your career peaked. 1941 Citizen Kane is considered a classic, and Orson Welles' work still stands the test of time.
Here's one promise I'll make. And boss Jim Geddes knows I'll keep it. My first official act as governor of this state will be to appoint a special district attorney to arrange for the indictment, prosecution, and conviction of boss Jim W. Geddes!
This is another film I waited a long time to watch because I was unsure as to whether it would be, as many have called it, the greatest film of all time. Well, I don't know if I would call it that, but it also didn't disappoint. I have to hand it to Orson Welles. He made a damn good movie.
Well, you know what mothers are like.
Yes, I know. Have you got a piano?
A piano?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's one in the parlor.
Would you sing for me?
Oh, you wouldn't want to hear me sing.
Yes, I would.
Well,
Well, don't tell me your toothache is still bothering you.
Oh, no, that's all gone.
All right.
Not so loosely based on the life of publishing magnate Randolph Hearst, Citizen Kane wasn't exactly a flattering portrait of a man who strongly wielded his wealth and power and the enormous influence he had over the lives of many.
Rosebud.
Citizen Kane attracted a lot of attention at the time, both positive and negative. Its release was sporadic because Hearst was able to not only withhold advertising for the film, but for all of RKO Studios' releases. Theater chains banned the movie, making it difficult for it to be shown to wide audiences. Reactions were mixed. People were afraid to voice their approval. Yet the Academy nominated Citizen Kane in 9 categories, 3 of which were for Orson Welles, who shared the screenwriting Oscar with Herman Mankiewicz. As for lead actor, the award went to a safer choice.
Well, I'm as much against killing as ever, sir. But it was this way, Colonel. When I started out, I felt just like you said. But when I hear them machine guns are going and all them fellers are dropping around me, I figured that them guns was killing hundreds, maybe thousands.
The patriotic movie Sergeant York was the highest-grossing film of the year, and Gary Cooper's portrayal of the title character was a popular and critically praised highlight. Was it better than Welles and Citizen Kane? At the time, I can understand why Cooper won. I just wish the Academy had gone for the gutsier, more controversial nominee. Your thoughts?
How are you coming with the invitations?
Finished. I'll mail them tomorrow. No stamps in the house.
Why can't you take them to the post office?
It's awfully cold outside.
For God's sakes, Tina, the post office is only 4 bloody blocks away.
That's true. That's absolutely true. What you say has a certain ring of truth.
Though Diary of a Mad Housewife isn't perhaps widely known, the cynical story of a marriage going south featured a tour divorce by Carrie Snodgress as Tina Balser.
You know, you look like a totally different woman tonight. Tell me, does screwing appeal to you? What's the matter? You drunk?
Just mad. Loony, as you say.
Stand still. Here, I haven't finished.
I find this all rather boring.
You're not.
Married to an emotionally abusive, self-centered husband, Tina embarks on an affair with a man who treats her with the same lack of respect.
You're sick. Sick. You have to put on this big, virile act. Because you're really a fag.
Now, you listen, girl. You take these clothes, and you get dressed, and you get up.
In a performance that ran the gamut of frustration, confusion, naivete, disillusion, betrayal, and yes, even optimism, Carrie Snodgress carefully avoided portraying Tina as a victim, though she could have easily convinced us, considering her plight.
Please don't. Don't make me out to be so... well, so noble.
You're a fine human being, Tina.
No, I'm not. I'm just a human being.
Though Carrie Snodgress was new to films, her performance won her 2 Golden Globe Awards, placing her as a frontrunner for the Best Actress Oscar. In a role first offered to Natalie Wood, whose salary was too high for the low-budget production, Snodgress was poised to become an Oscar winner. However, she did not hide her disdain for Hollywood, claiming she wasn't interested in being a star, and shunned the Oscar ceremony. The winning performance was this one.
You see, I'm responsible for this water.
I had a canoe at Arundel. I can assure you I'm perfectly safe.
Then I shall see to it that you're given a tea basket. And you can have a picnic all to yourselves. Well, that is the idea, isn't it?
How fearfully good. How frightfully nice of you.
True, Glenda Jackson was the critics' darling for her breakout performance in Women in Love, winning raves for her work in the controversial film. Now get your tomatoes ready to throw at me. I would not have voted for Jackson that year, and I thought her second Oscar for A Touch of Class was a better choice. Now, if you're still watching, I ask all of you who saw Diary of a Mad Housewife to tell me what you thought of Carrie Snodgress. Her performance was Oscar-worthy, right?
Look carefully around the walls. Well?
Oh, there's a little picture missing, sir.
Exactly. Did you take it away?
No, sir.
Have you ever taken it down from where it belongs?
Oh, no, sir. Why ever should I?
Why, indeed.
Ingrid Bergman may have won the Best Actress Oscar for 1944's Gaslight, and she deserved it. But would her performance have been as believable without the contribution of her co-star, Charles Boyer?
Your mother was mad.
Oh, Gregory.
She died in an asylum when you were a year old.
That's not true.
I've been making inquiries about Alice Alquist's sister. I've talked to the doctor who attended her. You'd like to see him?
No.
He described her symptoms to me. Would you like to hear them? It began with her imagining things, that she heard noises, footsteps, voices, and then the voices began to speak to her.
Cunning, manipulative, evil. Yeah, nothing redeeming about Gregory Anton. Oh, sure, he was charming. But wasn't that usually the case with Charles Boyer?
And whom are you going to the musical with?
Gentleman friend, sir?
Oh, now you know, Nancy, don't you? That gentlemen friends are sometimes inclined to take liberties with young ladies.
Oh, no, sir. Not with me. I can take care of myself. When I want to.
You know, Nancy, it strikes me that you're not at all the kind of girl that your mistress should have for a housemaid.
Perfectly cast as the villain, Boyer didn't miss a beat in this thriller about the games people play in relationships. Have you ever been gaslit by a friend? lover, or family member? Who hasn't? Sure, the film is certainly melodramatic, but its final denouement is so satisfying.
Look into my eyes. If I ever meant anything to you, and I believe I did, then help me, Pollock. Give me another chance. Look, in the drawer of that cupboard over there is a knife. Get it and cut me free.
I think Charles Boyer was great in this role. It's not easy to be suave yet diabolical, at least convincingly, but Boyer deserved his nomination, and he would have been my choice, especially given who got the Oscar that year.
Honestly, I'm sorry about the window.
Yeah, but being sorry don't fix it.
Well, I intend to pay for it.
When? Priests never have any money. That window will...
Now, wait a minute, my good man. I said I'd pay for it. I told you I'm sorry. What else can I say after I say I'm sorry?
Audiences loved the feel-good Going My Way, which not only won Bing Crosby Best Actor, but 7 Oscars in total, including Best Picture. That year, good won over evil, and Boyer's worthier performance was a casualty. Looking back now, what do you think of the Academy's decision? I saved my choice for the performance I feel, to this day, was most robbed of an Oscar. Some of you already know who it is, and many of you are not going to agree with me. But first, let me give my sincere thanks to you for watching this video. Whether or not we agree, this is about having fun with the Oscars, which is why I created the channel. If you're not yet a subscriber, join us for weekly videos and fun daily polls. Hitting the like button and sharing this with fellow Oscar nerds would be most appreciated. Okay, yeah, she's also my favorite singer. I'm a Motown guy, and her work as a Supreme and a solo artist have made me a fan for decades. But it was Diana Ross's debut performance as Billie Holiday in Lady Sings the Blues that showcased her talent to a whole new level.
I can't let them know them goddamn so fast has got to me. Don't do that to me, buddy.
You think I'm crazy enough to carry in the city?
Come on, pal.
Now, Billy, go home. You know, you can't fight it when you're hooked, and you are hooked. You are an A#1 mainliner.
It has been reported that Diana Ross heavily improvised throughout the 1972 film, which is perhaps the reason why her performance came off so natural. Without any formal training as an actress, Ross tackled dramatic scenes that, according to film historian Robert Osborne, quote, would have challenged a Bancroft or a Page, unquote. Lady Sings the Blues went into production with much skepticism by the industry. Diana Ross did not look nor sound like Billie Holiday. She sung popular music, not jazz. She was not an actress. And yet, upon the film's release, even those who personally knew Billie Holiday found Ross's portrayal convincing.
Billy!
Lauded for her first movie and considered a credible and promising new film star, Diana Ross became an Oscar nominee alongside the likes of more experienced actresses, including Maggie Smith, Cicely Tyson, and Liv Ullmann. Yet Ross got more attention than her competition and was expected to make Oscar history. Except there was another performance that was not going to make her victory easy.
Oh, Bri, Liebling, did I tell you? I saw a film the other day about syphilis. Oh, it was too awful. I couldn't let a man touch me for a week.
Coffee?
Is it true you can get it from kissing?
I'll come right out and say what I've been telling others for decades. Liza Minnelli in Cabaret was outstanding in the musical numbers, without question. However, in the non-singing scenes, she was good. Very good. But up against Ross as a drug addict, and in her first film? Sorry, I'm not saying that Minnelli won because the industry wanted to honor her mother. I'm not suggesting that Liza was part of a Cabaret sweep, a film that to date won the most Oscars without winning Best Picture. But let's be honest, neither of those facts hurt. Sure, I realize that Diana Ross didn't go on to a great film career, but that was mostly by her choice. And I also concede that her Oscar chances were ruined by Berry Gordy, her boss and mentor, whose decision to pay for an overzealous ad campaign offended some Academy members, who did not appreciate the Motown mogul's efforts at what looked like an attempt to buy his muse an Oscar. If only. I wish we could have an Oscar redo that year. Okay, now it's your turn to let me have it. Tell me what you think of these nominated performances, and if you think any were robbed of an Oscar win. And of course, I expect you to share your list of those who should be part of the discussion. I can't wait for your input. And until we meet again, here is a compilation of Brenda Blethyn's frequent usage of two words uttered throughout Secrets and Lies.
Sweetheart. Sweetheart. Sweetheart, you've been... Sweetheart. Hello, sweetheart. Hello, sweetheart. Hello, darling, darling. Sweetheart. Oh, yes. Hello, sweetheart.